Information overload hour, toll-free our number this Friday, 800-941-SEAN. You want to be a part of the program. When I see really good governors doing really great jobs and really making an impact in their states, you know what? It gives me some hope because, the states are where, things are happening for people that actually work in their everyday lives. And we've got a lot of great governors around the country, and they're having a huge impact. Obviously, we got Florida, we got Texas, we got South Carolina. Governor Youngkin, I think, is doing a good job in Virginia. Not exactly an easy place for a Republican to win to begin with. But there are others too, and they don't get a lot of headlines and a lot of press. But I did take note of what was going on in South Dakota, where our friend Christie, Noem, the governor there, is promoting a nationwide workforce and recruitment. One of the things that they've included in this, which I think is absolutely brilliant, is they are growing their apprenticeship programs, and they accept most out-of-state professional licenses. The state's doing so well with no income tax that they want more and more people to move to South Dakota. Let me play these two ads.
South Dakota's hiring. As the first state to bounce back from the pandemic, we've got one of the nation's strongest economies and more jobs than we can fill. That's why I'm pitching in. The average starting salary for an apprentice is $77,000 a year without paying a penny in personal state income tax. Plus, we honor apprenticeships from other states.
Hey, aren't you Governor Noem?
Yes, and I'm a lousy plumber.
South Dakota. Freedom works here.
We stayed open for business during the pandemic, and now businesses are growing so fast, our workforce can't keep up. That's why I'm lending a hand. We have 25,000 open positions. Here in South Dakota, you'll never pay a penny in personal state income tax. And we accept most out-of-state professional licenses.
Wait, aren't you Governor Noem?
Yes, I am. It's my first day.
South Dakota. Freedom works here.
Now, when you start comparing and contrasting, there's a lot of news out about how bad blue states are doing. I'll give you a quick couple of headlines here. Look at this. The LA Times has an article, 4 in 10 California residents now considering packing up and leaving. I brought this up with Gavin Newsom. He didn't seem too bothered by it. He's the first governor in the history of that state to ever lose population, and he's losing nearly 800 people a day. That's a big deal. I gave him a long list of well-known companies that are moving their corporate headquarters out of California. And then I brought up the homeless issues and social issues and high taxes, the highest in the country, income tax at 13.3%. Well, that's only for rich people. Okay, but that's an awful lot of money you're taking from people, and all those rich people seem to be leaving, and their corporate headquarters are certainly leaving. You have more U-Haul trucks that left California than any other state last year. Can you imagine? When I was a contractor and I started out, I got paid, I think, $5 an hour as a carpenter's apprentice. And then I eventually just started my own painting business, learned to hang paper, went to school at night to build houses. And, I did that for 10 years of my life. I wish I could have made $77,000 a year starting as an apprentice. Anyway, Governor Christie Noem is back with us. Governor, great to have you back. This is a great idea.
It's really working fantastic, Sean. We've only been doing this national campaign for the last 48 hours, and we've got over 500 people that have completely gone through the process of going to that website, Freedom Works Here. They've signed up, filled out a form. They're now connected to our white glove service, which is helping them find communities and not just the jobs that they want, but also the schools that fit their kids, helping them find houses. And they're so excited to be coming to South Dakota. And that's what I think is absolutely fantastic. The top 3 states that are reaching out to us are California, like you mentioned. Also, Florida is one of them, and New York. But overwhelmingly, people are coming from those states and saying, absolutely, I want to come. I've got some questions. And our economy has grown so much in South Dakota, and that we just don't have enough people here. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the nation, in the history of the nation. And we need more people who want to live somewhere they can be free, and we will help them find the perfect community and job of their dreams and get them. If they're not trained, we'll get them trained on the job while they earn a living. But if they are trained and they want to participate in apprenticeship program, or if they have a license they want recognized, we'll do it and we'll get them right to work.
It's an awesome program. It is very reminiscent to a program we actually started organically on this program. And when North Dakota and the Bakken fields were doing so well, all of a sudden we started to take note, and I got in touch with some of the business owners. They were paying to train truck drivers, housing these people, and starting salaries were $100,000 a year. And what I said on the air one day, I just said, if I was making $50,000 in my state, I think I'd pack up and I'd move to North Dakota and I'd take, one of those driving jobs and double my income. And by the way, that didn't include all the overtime you can take. Long story short, Governor, we partnered with many businesses, and on a weekly basis, we would put another new business on that had job openings for people that didn't even have experience that would be making six-figure salaries. I mean, that's pretty much what you're offering here. For an apprentice, $77,000 a year, that is incredible.
It's incredible, and it comes with full benefits. So they're getting health insurance. They might have a pension that comes with that. We're getting them trained at no cost. They're getting a free education. They're going to end up being plumbers or electricians. We have almost 100 teachers just in the last several weeks that have signed up, people that will be trained to be a teacher while they're in the classroom teaching the kids. So it's a very unique model of a way to give them the hands-on experience that they need along with the classes that they need to complete that degree program, and do it in a way that meets our workforce needs as well. And these are people that just, they understand the value of work. There are people across this country that are frustrated with the situation their family's living in, and to know that they can come here and they can live in a state where we don't have an income tax, we don't have a personal property tax, all we have is a 4.2% sales tax, and that's it, and they can keep their money in their pocket and then launch a career for free. They're pretty excited about it, and that's why we're doing this national campaign, and we're pushing it out to people, and I'm excited at the response we've gotten just in the first couple of days here.
Well, I just want to know if you're really that good a plumber, and if you are, I wonder if you have some spare time the next time you're in New York to stop by my house.
You'll have to wait till you see the welder ad, because I'm not a gamer and I might be an even worse welder. But I tell you what, a dentist thing, I almost, I got a little bit of a feel for that. I maybe could try that one.
So funny story, but a true story. Now, not funny for me, but so I was a carpenter's apprentice, as I said. I was getting $5 an hour. I was working my ass off. And anyway, I fell off a roof. This was in Rhode Island in the middle of winter. And at that point in my life, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I fell off the roof, 3 stories, frozen ground, hit the ground, and my elbow, just like from my elbow down, it was totally disconnected from the rest of my radial head, busted up all my teeth in the process. Oh. And not only did I not have benefits or health insurance, they didn't even want to pay workers' comp, and I didn't even have any money for a doctor. Doctor wanted to operate. I said, I can't afford it. I'll paint your office when I'm feeling better. And that's what I did.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're lucky that you're alive after that kind of a fall. That's crazy. And that's the thing.
Well, but there was good news. I hit the ground and I instantly became a conservative.
I bet you did. Oh, I love it. Well, honestly, that's the thing is one incident like that can change somebody's life forever. And, they don't have to live that way. They don't have to live somewhere where they don't have the kind of certainty that a career can give them. And they don't have to live with $300,000 in school debt in order to have the potential to earn a good wage. And they don't have to live in a lawless community that doesn't, understand law and order and where the government's taken half their money. So there is a way of life that's very different. Overwhelmingly, people have found that out about South Dakota. I'd encourage everybody to go to freedomworkshere.com, and they will experience all that South Dakota has to offer. And, people that move here, I meet them every single day, just say, I love it here. I had no idea life could be so good. And we've been a little bit of a secret gem in this country. I'm glad people are finding out our story, because I'm convinced the state that has the workers in the future is the state that's going to win this economic stability and long-term longevity of keeping taxes low. So I'm going to keep the pedal to the metal and keep pushing South Dakota, because we are a wonderful state and everybody should get the chance to live like we do.
Well, the reason I got to know your state as a wonderful state is both my son and daughter were athletes, and, we often went, I think for a period of time, we went once a year to South Dakota. And, we obviously would, go see the presidents, carved into stone and, at Mount Rushmore. And it was just majestic, to be honest. It's just beautiful.
Yep.
And the landscape is phenomenal and the lifestyle is phenomenal. And you don't have a lot of smash and grab robberies in South Dakota.
We do not have them. Nope. The state definitely loves our law enforcement, and we make sure that everybody here is following the law and taking care of their neighbors. That's the interesting thing is when all those riots and violence were breaking out and in 2020 and we saw what was going on, that just wasn't our story in South Dakota. As soon as somebody threw the first water bottle in our state, we went in and shut it down. So we understand that, and most of the time it's citizens taking care of their neighbors too, which I think is fantastic.
No, and I mean, those are the people in your state, and it speaks volumes about the people in South Dakota, and it's beautiful. Quick break, more with South Dakota Governor Christie Noem and her nationwide workforce recruitment program campaign. We have the details on Hannity.com. If you're looking to change your life, make a better living, have a better lifestyle, take a look. No property tax, no income tax. Not a bad deal. All right, we continue now with South Dakota Governor Christie Noem. She now has launched her nationwide workforce recruitment program. I love the part also because it's very difficult. I have friends that are lawyers, people. My three sisters all became nurses, and it's a big deal when you go from one state to another in terms of having an out-of-state license even accepted, even on a temporary basis. They almost send you back to school, and it's like, I already went to nursing school. I already, have 10 years experience in an emergency room as an emergency room nurse. I know my job, and a lot of states don't do that.
No, they don't, and that's been a game changer for us. We've done these kind of reforms the last several years. Started with our military men and women and their spouses, because we all know the challenges that they have when they get stationed somewhere different and their whole spouse has to change what state they're operating in their profession in. We've done it now universally for virtually every single license in the state. And it's just from realtors to doctors to nurses to whatever you could potentially need a license for, even nail technicians, whatever it is. Their license is recognized as soon as they hit our state and they can get right to work. And Sean, that's what I think has been lost in this country is the value of a work ethic. And we have forgotten that work is good for you, that we were created to serve each other and to have a purpose. And it's better for us physically, for us mentally, and spiritually to get up every day and to have a purpose and to go have a job. And in South Dakota, we understand that, and we're talking about it all the time. I think it's time the rest of the country wake up to the fact that not only is it good to earn a living, but it's also better for you physically. Your family will do better mentally. You'll be a part of a community, and that all in all truly does lead to the American dream.
No, you got to have a purpose when you wake up every morning, or else, you know what, that's where trouble kicks in. Where are you on this presidential primary race?
Oh, man. Well, I think it's going to be a roller coaster, don't you? I mean, I just think, we've got...
welcome to my world. Try to thread my needles.
Yeah, right now, there's nobody in that race that can win except Trump. And so I'd like to know what the reason is they're running, and know that they really, truly do have a vision for the country. I think some of these people that keep jumping in are coming in just to attack. And I'd rather have people that run for president that actually want to be the president to do something good. So, I think that it's going to...
I won't put Christie on for that reason. I think he's just a blowhard. This guy left office with a 14% approval rating? 14%.
Yeah, it's crazy to me, and it's not helpful to. He thinks it's helpful to the public to find out. We all know what Trump is and who he is. I know all the good stuff that happened in my state because he let me do my job. Every day I woke up grateful I had a president that let me do my job as governor. If Biden had been president during the pandemic, he would have crushed me and crushed my state. So that's what I think is overwhelmingly positive, is that his policies worked for us, and South Dakota had opportunity because of it. And, honestly, whoever this presidential race, I'm sure there's more people that'll get in, maybe even who ends up being the president isn't in the race yet. But we'll pay attention and we'll see. I think it's just going to be an interesting one. People always talk about trends in presidential races. This might be the one that breaks all those trends.
I hope you're right. I got to tell you something. We can't take 4 more years of this corpse being our president. He doesn't even know today's Friday. Anyway, Governor, great program. We're actually going to put it up on our website, Hannity.com, your workforce recruitment program. I think it deserves attention. And anybody, if you're finding yourself in a position you want to change your life and have opportunity and make better money and have a better lifestyle, you might want to look at South Dakota. Governor, we love having you. Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate all the help. You bet. Have a great day.
You too. 800-941-SEAN, our number. You want to be a part of the program.